My name is Pat Traffas, and I'm a past president of Oregon-California Trails Association. I'm also a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And with us today are my daughter, Mary House, and my granddaughter, Lillian House. And we're here in Lexington, Missouri. And we think this is such an important story to tell because it was women that helped settle and take their families safely to the West. Women's story is such an important one, and in fact it was such an important one that the Daughters of the American Revolution decided to commission statues to be placed along the National Old Trails Road. That trail road stretches from Bethesda, Maryland, all the way to California. There are 12 of the Madonna of the Trail statues in 12 different trail states. We're at the one closest to us, our headquarters, and this is, of course, today in Lexington, Missouri. The Madonnas of the Trail were made out of a composite ground Missouri granite, so they're going to be kind of pinkish, or sometimes they call them coral in color. They are our construction, so it's taken a lot of restoration to keep them going. But the daughters are determined, just like our pioneer mothers were, and so they maintain and keep these statues. I'd love to tell the story of the Madonna because as you look at her, this is going to be, to me, a very resolute looking pioneer mother. She's got one baby cradled in her left arm, a child clinging to her skirt on the other side. You'll notice that her right hand is on the gun stock of a gun. Now, the very tip of this gun stock, and they were susceptible to breakage, actually came off in a big ice storm. But we still see the gun. And the artist who created the Madonnas was actually a sculptor from St. Louis, Missouri, August Leimbach. And he actually had a model of Daniel Boone's gun. And this gun is fashioned after Daniel Boone's gun. And in fact, if we were able to get up there close enough, you could read his name on the gun stock barrel. So it's kind of fun when we look at these and remember what our mothers sacrificed to help settle the West and make it a wonderful, wonderful home for everyone. Of course, women weren't on the trail much before the immigration to California and Oregon, but what I think is so interesting is they left behind many stories because it was the women who would write notes, they would write in their diaries, they recorded their experiences. I read a statistic one time that 60% of the women who went west on the immigrant trails either became pregnant or gave birth on the trip. Oh, wow. The 12 Madonna of the Trail statues that stretch from the Atlantic coast in Bethesda, Maryland, all the way to the Pacific coast in Upland, California, are wonderful reminders of the contribution that women played on the westward migration. This statue was dedicated by Harry Truman. He was a district judge at the time, and of course he would later become a United States president. He was here in 1928 when this particular Madonna of the Trail statue was dedicated. We've got some wonderful little clips of that we'll include. I'd love to show those to you because here's a man that would become president that was here at a DAR special event. Now, what direction is this Madonna facing, ladies?
Definitely west.
Yes, whether the trail began in Illinois or Pennsylvania or even in Florida, they were going to the west, so they had their eyes cast that way. There's only one statue where the Madonna faces east.
Where would that be located?
It's the one in Maryland. Oh. And we don't know if she was too hesitant on what may lay ahead. Maybe she didn't like the uncertainties. I wanted to tell you one more interesting little feature. From top to bottom, the Madonna stands about 18 feet. So she's no shrinking violet by any means. Each of the bases will have a little bit of a different story because it's based on where they're placed. But this Madonna has kind of a fun one because there's a secret. She had a time capsule placed in the base in 1928, and when she had gone in to have, we'll call it a facelift, in 2011, and they had to do some refurbishing of that, they took the old time capsule out. Now the capsule was in good shape, but what was inside it was not. So we just feel that our Madonnas tell a real story. It's a story I want you to tell. It's not just a girl's story. You can tell it to guys too, but it's more fun when you take Madonnas and go out on the trail and say thank you for your efforts in helping settle the West. Absolutely. And I'm so glad you girls could be with me today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Well, you're welcome. I brought a little something along for your home.
Wow.
Would you like to open it?
Sure.
Okay. I can take the bag.
God. Oh, wow.
Well, that is an exact replica. Harry Truman was given 2 of those to use as bookends when he was here in 1928. And this is something that's very, very rare. But I've had this Madonna at my home for a number of years. You are my Madonnas, and I want you to have one in your home.
Thanks so much.
I love you, girls.
Love you too.
I love
Thank you for today.
Love you.
I love you.
Okay.
Lexington, Missouri was selected for the presentation.